Well, you're not going to believe this, guys. Prices actually went up in September here in Ada County, and that surprised the heck out of me considering interest rates continue to climb. Talk about a stubborn market here. If this is your first time to the channel, thank you for being here. We do one of these videos at least every month to talk about the trends in market data. And today we'll discuss sold data coming out of September, and then we'll take a snapshot of the market today to try to spot upcoming trends. Please, if you get a chance, hit the like button, subscribe to the channel. We'd love having you here. Let's dive into the data. All right, so get this, guys. The average price of a home rose 0.8% in September. Crazy to me. We saw it flatline in August. I was thinking, hey, is this a trend or are we just seeing the peak of the summer market here? And sure enough, it was a trend upward. And now we're seeing appreciation of $5,472 on average in Ada County for an existing home. It could be worse on some houses, it could be better on others, but on average, we are seeing an increase in value. Now, year to date, we're only down 3.6%. That's negative 3.6% home value in the course of a year where you could have expected to see 10 to 15%. I mean, people keep talking about the Boise market crashing. I'm not seeing it happen. Now, keep in mind the data we look at here is specific to the single family space. Maybe there's some fringe properties that are showing up to curb the value here, but really what I'm seeing is in a single family space, we just can't seem to lose value out here. Negative 3.6%. In order to qualify that, we usually swing about 8% value from June to December, historically speaking. If you look at any graphs, it goes like that into the winter and that into the summer. And it doesn't look like we're seeing that yet. I would have expected to see a more predictable downward trend coming out of the summer, and we're seeing the opposite, guys. Price per square foot up $1. All right, we're seeing that's a marginal change, right? But you multiply that number by a 2,500 square foot home, and that dollar starts to show up as value. And the most important piece is it's now $4 cheaper to buy a new home than it is to buy an existing home here in the Treasure Valley. And that's insane. The reality is it should cost more to own something new, considering all of the costs that go into older properties. But that's not what we're seeing. In fact, the trend is that delta is getting bigger. I saw it get as close as dead even this year, and now we're watching it pull apart again. And I have watched that number for 3 years now. It's been as bad as $27 per square foot cheaper to buy new in some instances. And so keep your eye on that. Buying a new home in Idaho is probably the play if you're considering a purchase out here. And inventory, we have 2 months of inventory. That's down from 2.1 months of inventory, which was our numbers coming out of August. And what that means, guys, is if we didn't bring any homes to the market at all, we would sell through everything that is currently available for sale in 2 months' time. And a neutral market, I consider to be about 5 months of inventory. We've seen it worse than that out here in 08. We've never seen it worse than 2 months in the course of the 5 to 7 years coming into 2023. So 2 months is pretty much what we've held out here for indefinitely. A small spike we saw happen this time last year, but that's not happening this year, guys. We got stubborn sellers in the resale space, not interested in selling their home. And new construction is leading the charge. Let's talk new construction numbers. $637,868 on average to buy a new home out here. I know for a fact you can get it done a lot cheaper than that. There just happens to be a decent amount of movement in the million plus space right now. It's a good time to buy an expensive home because there's some downward pressure on prices in that space. But we're also seeing, $1 million homes selling in 7 days out here. So they are down almost a percentage, 0.9%. That's coming out of September. That's about $5,869 of value lost coming into October here. And we're seeing this gap between the average cost of a new construction project and the average cost of an existing home get less and less and less. So interesting trend to watch, and we'll keep our eye on it. Year to date, you've lost 8.6% of value in the new construction space. That is starting to feel like a trend. I mean, every single month we've been clicking down about a percentage. 0.75. Sometimes it's a little worse than that. Obviously, we saw about 1% fall off in September. So keep an eye on it, guys. That may be where we're seeing the crash here in Boise. Is it's happening for builders, but it's not happening for resale. And it could be a buying opportunity. Price per square foot, we're down $2 per square foot. That's about that percentage that fell off the prices there. And again, that price between new and old, man, keep your eye on that. If I had a choice and they cost the same, I'm buying new. When it's actually cheaper, I'll take two, right? And then the months of inventory, 3.1, that's up a 0.1 month of inventory. So if we brought no more new homes to market, it would take us 3.1 months to sell through all the inventory we have at today's absorption rate. And that's not a bad number either, guys. Still considerably less than neutral. Neutral, no buyer, no seller has an advantage. I think it's still a seller's market out here. And we are taking multiple offers on some properties that we're selling. And we're selling, as we'll jump into this next slide, actually, because it talks about uh, days on market, median days on market for a pending listing, 10 days. It used to be 8 days. It's 10 days now. 10 days, half the homes in the valley are selling in 10 days or less. That's a crazy number, guys. And it's been as low as 8. I've seen it as high as 12 this year, fluctuating gently, but still hovering around that very low number of days on market for a well-priced listing. But let me start at the top here. We got active days, no active number of listings. We are up 3.5 listings against September's average. So I took these numbers are from October 7th. We pulled them directly from the MLS and we weighed them against average numbers coming through September. And in September, on average, we were 3.5 listings less than this number right here, 2,076 listings. And this time last year, we had 3,600 listings on the market right now. So we've got a lot of headroom here. And the market didn't collapse at 36 listings either. We continued to sell property. So very low number of listings. This is across the whole valley too. This is not specific to Ada County. If I break this into Ada County, we've got probably, 1,400 of those listings are Ada County listings. Very stubborn inventory in Canyon County. And then when we break new builds out of those listings, it's an interesting thing to see happen here. About half the homes on inventory are brand new construction, and about a third of those homes are available to move into today. The rest of them are either to be built projects or they're under construction, and that is not a home that's available to you today. And speculating against future interest rates is something you strongly need to consider as you're considering building a home or buying an under construction project. But this is a very tight number, guys. Median days on market for an active listing is down almost 2 days. So it spiked for a minute there. When I say spiked, I mean we were hovering around 38, 40 days, and then we came up to about 45 days for a quick second there. And we're watching that number come back down. My business is starting to feel more urgent, feel a little bit more active after a slow August and a sort of a stubborn, slow September. Things are starting to pick up towards end of year. So I bet you this number creeps down back towards about 40 by the time we do our end of October video. And the median price of an active listing, down $3,611. Basically no movement, but I've seen this 2 months in a row. This is a lead metric, guys. This over here in pending is a lag metric. When actives are climbing, pendings can still be going down. It's just a matter of there's an inflection point where one begins to lead the other, or the active begins to lead pending. And we're seeing a slight downtick in the active listing value, the average price of an active listing, or excuse me, the median price of an active listing. That means half the homes in the valley are priced at this number or lower, and half of them are priced higher. This is right in the middle there, but downward trend there. Keep an eye on it. What I was trying to say is we're seeing pending listings going up in value. If median price for an active listing continues to be on the decline, we will start to see that show up in pending listings if it becomes a stubborn trend. Now, pending listings, we've got 1,493. That's down almost 100 listings from our average pending listings in September. And that number is also trending down. Actives aren't moving, pendings are going down. That is potentially meaning we're going to have more homes on market, but we're selling just enough homes and bringing so few homes to market that actually we're not seeing a huge price correction to inventory glut. Like we don't have a ton of homes. And so even with the pending number ticking down, which we also can expect to see as we come out of the heat of the summer, which is the meat of our market out here. But keep an eye on it. If that continues to trend down, it could mean homes aren't selling, and that will show up in this median days on market. And then finally, we have median price of a pending listing. That's up $11,179, which is cool to see. I've been tracking that all year. It was stuck at 470 for like ever. So to see it jump in almost to 490 end of year here is an interesting trend to watch unfold. And we'll keep our eye on it. But the long story short out here is pendings lead to solds, and sold prices are climbing, right? And we're seeing it here. First and foremost, we're watching pending listings climb in value, which is showing up as sold data. So could it be that active data is trending down and we'll start to see a downward trend in pending listings? It is quite possible, but we are not seeing that show up yet. And in fact, there's quite a bit of room between 539 and 489 for pending listings for actually homes that are closing to keep moving pending listings up. All right, those are the numbers. Kind of a crazy market, guys. And I would say if I had to make a prediction here, we are going to see some downward pressure on home value as we move through the end of the year here. And that's, of course, because of interest rates. They're pushing almost 8% at this point, which is absolutely crazy. And it could be a higher for longer environment. I know that's a buzzword right now, but we're hearing a lot of it. And I think it's probably true. They've got to make some impact this year if they're going to make any impact at all. Now, at the same time, I think that depression in value is going to be marginal, if not unnoticeable, in which case, hang on, man. If you're investing in the area, just hang tight for a second. Let's see what happens going into December. I think it's an interest rate issue. Once they start coming down, we're seeing that moment where interest rates and the cost of money get cheaper. That's the moment when you buy a house out here and ride the next wave. Thanks for being here today, guys. Please like and subscribe if you enjoyed the video. We're here to help. If you have any questions, I'll put my contact info in the description below. Have a blessed day, guys. We'll talk soon.